In today's live VA Q&A, I'm answering the question, why do so many virtual assistants serve coaches? So, when I first came into the online space, I was totally baffled by all of these virtual assistants working for coaches. In my life, managing a farm, being a preschool teacher, coaches, especially online business coaches and things like that, were not even in my frame of reference at all. I did not know what a big industry it was. And when I first came on here, that this many VAs can be serving them. But of course, over time, I've learned that virtual assistants and coaches are a match made in heaven. And truly, our two industries are so in sync now that we can't even really exist without each other. Virtual assistants need coaches, coaches need virtual assistants. And today I want to share why it is that I believe that virtual assistants and coaches are such a match made in heaven. And I'm going to share what services coaches need that VAs love to offer. And then I'm going to share the surprising ways that serving coaches can help your business grow in ways that you didn't even imagine maybe when you first got started. So to start, I'll answer that question simply. Why do so many virtual assistants serve coaches? Why are they such a match made in heaven? And the answer is pretty simple. It's because of a couple of key things. That both virtual assistants and coaches have online businesses, and we're both solopreneurs. So in that sense, we really speak the same language. We use the same strategies. We use the same tools and software. We're familiar with the kinds of marketing that needs to happen online. And think about it too. As a virtual assistant, our main goal in our marketing and in our strategy is to find clients. And the same is true of coaches. Their main goal is to find clients and serve their clients. So we see a lot of overlap in the systems and softwares that we use, and we really understand each other's unique struggle. So we really come in on the same wavelength, whereas if you're serving a brick and mortar business or businesses that aren't as online based, there might be a little more of a learning curve for our clients where maybe they don't understand some of the online business jargon that we use, or they might not be as familiar with some of the systems that we use for communication or for managing our businesses, or they may not be as familiar with the strategies that we know. Whereas if we're talking to an online business coach or a life coach, we know that they speak the same language. They know kind of what's up and what's going on. So the other great thing about coaches is that they need the kinds of services that we love to offer. So I'll go a little bit deeper into what those services are, but basically with coaches, they need a lot of the things that we offer. So it's going to be that executive administrative stuff. It's going to be that content creation, and they need it consistently and ongoing. So everything that you like to do, probably a coach needs you to do it. So that's why they make such great clients. Another important thing to consider about coaches is that it's a growing industry. Lately, I've been hearing conversation about both the virtual assistant and the coaching industry, people asking, is it oversaturated? Is there even a chance to be successful? And I think actually they're not oversaturated. We're seeing a flood of new people, but what's going to be most important is that we, stand out by offering service specialties and, really lean into our personal brands so that we stand out a little bit more, because there are more virtual assistants. But I think that's because the need is growing. And I think that's because also the coaching industry is growing so much. With more people rethinking the way they're living their lives, the way they're approaching their work, the way they want to be, spending their time, more and more people are seeking out coaches. More and more people are thinking about starting online businesses. So all of this is going to just continue to grow and expand. And as virtual assistants, we are perfectly equipped to support coaches as their industry grows and to help them stand out in the same ways that we're helping ourselves stand out. So it really goes hand in hand, and I don't see oversaturation being a problem in the virtual assistant or in the coaching industry, as long as we stand out and get clear on what we offer and who we are and stand out in an authentic way. So the other thing that makes us such a great match for coaches is, like I said, the services that we offer. So if coaching or serving coaches is something that you're really interested in diving into more as a virtual assistant, if you want to start to serve them more, there's some specific areas where coaches need a lot of help. And like I said, they're really some of the most fun services that we can offer as virtual assistants. So I got my start serving spiritual life coaches as an executive virtual assistant. I have found that every coach needs an executive VA. They might not even realize that they do, but they do, because I see way too many coaches spending way too much time on the minutia of their business. So answering emails, doing customer service, doing their own scheduling. And I know as a coach myself, the more we are in those places in our business, the less time we have to grow and to focus on revenue generating activities. I also know how important customer service is for clients for coaches as far as retaining their clients and having that clear communication. So for virtual assistants to be able to be a right hand to a coach is so valuable, because it allows coaches to step into their genius and walk their talk. Because I see a lot of coaches talk a lot about time management and designing a life you love and all of these things, but I wonder, and self-care, but then I wonder how many of them are supported with a virtual team that's allowing them to really focus on those places. So if you want to serve coaches, it's not so much about, as an executive virtual assistant, it's not so much about just taking the tasks away from them or saving them time. It's about giving them the space to step into their zone of genius and to walk their talk as coaches. I have found that that is really powerful language to use with coaches, because it makes them think. It makes them stop and think, am I walking my talk as a coach? Like, am I practicing self-care enough? And what does it mean for me as a coach if I'm not supported and if I'm not, using the same practices in my business that I'm teaching to others? That's something that I'm constantly thinking about in my own coaching business, is how can I model in my own business what I want to teach other service providers to do. And one of the first things that coaches need to do is hire an executive VA as their right hand to help them step into their genius and help them walk their talk. So another, of course, key thing that coaches need help with is content creation. Every coach I know, including myself, we are oozing content at all times, because, like, look at me right now. I'm here creating content because this is how we build community. This is how we build trust with other people, and coaches need to be creating content regularly, and it needs to be consistent. And I know for a lot of coaches that are DIYing it, the trouble is staying consistent. They know how they want to show up. They know what kinds of content they create, but they'll get started and kind of dabble and then have to take a step back because they don't have the time. They're not supported. So it's really important that we learn how we can support coaches, and some great ways to support them are by helping with repurposing content. For example, a live video like this, helping them to break it down into chunks, maybe using short clips for social media, or taking things they've said to create quote graphics for social media. That kind of repurposing content can be really, really valuable for coaches. Also, as far as content creation, podcasts are huge for coaches. This is how we reach our audience, is by getting in their earbuds and speaking, and that's how we build trust with people. So coaches need that support with podcast management, blogging, video editing, graphic design, all things content. There's always going to be a demand for that in the coaching industry. Then, of course, really important, and something that we intimately understand as virtual assistants is helping them to manage their client experience. So that's streamlining their process with their clients, maybe getting them into a CRM like Dubsado or Honeybook, and helping them to manage their system with their clients. So helping them to create workflows for getting their clients their contracts, their invoices, making sure they're scheduled. Those are all things that we can help our clients manage within their client experience as coaches. And of course, as virtual assistants, we know how important that client experience is, because we use the same tools and systems and workflows with our own clients. That's again why it's such a match made in heaven. We use all those same systems and tools. So other great things to work on with coaches are launch management, so helping them launch their courses, launch their programs, visibility strategy, so helping them get pitched to podcasts and summits and things like that. These are all things that you can do even as not such an experienced virtual assistant. Even if you are new to the online space, you can learn how to pitch your clients to podcasts. In fact, I'm about to jump into the Support Squad membership in a little bit and do a training on how to pitch yourself and your clients to podcasts. It's something you can easily learn to do, and it has a high value and a huge return on investment for your clients, because it's helping them reach new audiences and bring in new leads. So those are all amazing services that you can offer to coaches, and that doesn't even really scratch the surface. Basically, anything that you can think of in an online business is something that you can offer to coaches. And the great thing is, so much of it overlaps with what we're already doing in our business. So if you're a new virtual assistant and you're setting up your business, you're already learning systems and strategies and workflows and things that you can use to serve your clients. That's why it's so great to work with coaches as a new VA if you've never had a client before, because you can kind of learn as you go as you're building your own business, because there's a lot of crossover. So then I want to share kind of the secrets, how working for online coaches can actually really fast track your own success and help you grow in ways that you maybe never even imagined. So to start with, just working with coaches in general, you're going to learn a lot just through their content and messaging. I mean, think about it. If you're constantly, surrounded and immersing yourself in working with mindset coaches or business coaches, you're going to be learning so many strategies that are going to be helpful to you as an entrepreneur. So it's kind of like getting free coaching in a way if you're working for a coach, because you're learning all of the things that they're teaching their clients, and just being immersed in that content is instantly going to elevate your vibe and like help you to solidify your mindset. I definitely found that working for all these spiritual female life coaches, it's like infused in my DNA now. All of their messaging has become such a part of me, and it's really helped me along my journey as a virtual assistant and then into coaching. So the other thing about working for coaches is, especially coaches that are really established in their business, especially if they have teams or if they've really scaled their business, is it can be kind of like getting a master's degree in online coaching. One of my first life coach clients that I worked for, I was her executive VA, so I was entrenched in the back end of her business. So I was new to the online space, but I very quickly learned so much about online business. I mean, it was really probably more valuable than any college education I could have gotten, because I learned the ins and outs of running a successful online business and scaling it with a team and launching amazing programs and figuring out the back end systems of things and how the sausage was made. I really got to see it all as an executive VA for a multi-six-figure life coach. It changed my entire life. I don't have a college degree. I'm a college dropout. It wasn't my thing, but I felt like I got so much knowledge and value just from those years working in the back end of a successful business that will it's changed my life forever. Like I'll never be the same because of that time that I spent with that. So I never imagined that just by being a virtual assistant for an online coach, that I would see potential in myself that I never realized was even there. It was life-changing. Another thing that can happen if you work for coaches is you might realize that maybe you want to go into coaching. That's obviously something that's happened with me. I saw the money that my clients were making. I saw the joy that they had in their work. I saw the transformations that were happening with the women that they served. With some of my clients, I got to go on retreat with them. And that was a transformative experience. And I got to see the impact that they were having in the lives of the women that they were serving. And so it really inspired me to step up as a leader in my own industry and provide that impact for other women, because it's so rewarding and it's so wonderful. So you might find after some time working with coaches that is something that you're drawn to. And then, kind of the final thing about working with coaches is that coaches are always networking. They're very well resourced. They usually know lots of other people in their industry. And so you can usually get referred to other clients pretty easily if you get in with a coach that has a pretty vast network. Like I know even for me as a coach, I know tons of other coaches. I always know people that need a VA, and that's how I started like my matchmaking service in the Support Squad membership community. Is now because of all of my connections as a coach, I always know someone that needs a VA. They're all coaches. They all need VAs all the time. Every time I bring a guest expert into the Support Squad, they're like, I need a VA. And I'm always like, I know the one for you. So if you get in with someone that has a network of coaches that they're connected with, they always know someone that needs a VA. So you can get those referrals and start to build your own network. So if you are a new virtual assistant and you haven't decided what your ideal client is, I would just focus on your service specialty and then market it to coaches. That would be my main advice to you, is not to worry too much about the specific niche of coaching or anything like that at first. Start exploring with coaches because they're always going to need VAs. Find a service specialty that's really valuable to coaches and then go for it. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I better get off now because I got to go hop in with my Support Squad members here in just 20 minutes. So exciting to be with you guys today. If you have any questions you want me to answer in an upcoming VA Q&A, please leave them in the comments and I will, address all of your questions in an upcoming VA Q&A. So thank you guys for being here today. Have an awesome Monday.